Hi, my name is Keith and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man, and I'm going to be talking to you today about something I have talked about in the past, but why Moldavite has to be gifted to you. So I've made videos about this before, and I'll make videos about it again because some of you forget, some of you won't find that video, some of you who are even new to this channel are going to not see the video, or it might just be helpful for me to re-explain it to people, but either way, I'm going to re-talk about why Moldavite has to be gifted to you, and the reason that most people do get Moldavite is disturbing. People, I'm going to tell you right now, the main reason most people learn about Moldavite is because they're looking for entertainment. 100% from my experience with all these people who wanted to, because I have Moldavite, I have real Moldavite, that when my angels tell me, they'll literally tell me, gift this person Moldavite. I just gift this person Moldavite. It's very rare that that does happen because in certain people's lives, Moldavite can act as a paver. Just basically, if there's a path of snow, it's literally a flame torch. It's a dragon. It breathes fire upon the path of snow. It melts all the snow. And now that person's life path is not frozen anymore, but it's completely dissolved. Now, Moldavite does have a start period and an end period. When you use it, you're not supposed to continuously use it. It completely ungrounds you if you continuously use it, and it's basically best used on and off. So if the dragon breathes too much fire, then it incinerates everything. But when the dragon closes its mouth and takes a break, then its power is stronger again, and it helps you really understand about what you need to be doing, what the Moldavite is there to teach you, and what's really going on. So let me talk about this right now. So I've specifically stated, guys, that Moldavite has to be gifted. A lot of you flat out disagree with me, and I've lived this experience. And when I first got Moldavite, and some of you may already have Moldavite and you didn't know when you first got it, it's okay, as long as you know, but I didn't know when I first got Moldavite that it has to be gifted to you. It was taught to me by people who are in the actual republic of where it's from, the Chechnyan Republic, if I'm even saying that right. I basically completely butcher that Chechnyan. I'll just be like, same thing with Blue Chalcedony, Blue Chalcedony. I'll just butcher words. I'll just completely chop up words, and I'm like, okay, I'll just rename this. I can't rename an entire republic, but yeah, same thing with certain crystals. I don't know why I do that. Maybe I just need some extra blue crystals around my throat. I have a bunch of blue crystals, but I don't know. I just butcher some names sometimes. But basically, it has to be you. When you get Moldavite, it should be gifted to you because it has a period in its time where it's supposed to finally get into your hands. Like, okay, finally, I've got Moldavite at this right time. And even when it's about to get gifted to you, if it's not gifted at the right time, your angels can prevent whoever is gifting it to you from being gifted to them. So basically, I went to go gift Moldavite, and from my angels, I did not get a yes to gift the person Moldavite. I just kind of got sometimes my angels are like, oh, you already know the answer, so I'm not going to tell you again. And I'm like, and I was very unsure of it when I was doing it, which is a very bad feeling. Being unsure about anything when you're working with angels is not a good sign. You're like, you know the answer. I'm like, yeah. So I went to go gift Moldavite to the person, and I lost it about 3 or 4 times until I realized, like, okay, this is not meant to be. And my angels are just like, you knew that. I'm like, okay, you could have just told me the first time, but they don't repeat themselves like that. I've made videos about communicating with angels before. Moldavite has to be gifted. So let me talk about my story of Moldavite. I didn't know. I don't know what the camera's panning, but I did not know why I didn't know at the time to not get it. I didn't get the intuition. Maybe I had the intuition to not get it at the time, and I just ignored it because Moldavite online is like, this is the most needed, most powerful, most ancient, most historic crystal, and just the explanation about how powerful it is online, which they actually blowed it up to be more than it actually is. Unfortunately, it seems like Moldavite is a distraction from other crystals, from what I found. Yeah, it's a very powerful road opener. It'll do its job, then it needs to go into dormancy. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but when you get Moldavite for yourself, it doesn't have the same effect at all. So basically, it's a green crystal. Being of the heart chakra, certain crystals of the heart chakra are especially more powerful when they're gifted. That's why people ask me, can I get myself malachite? And I'm like, yeah, you can. It's more powerful when gifted, but you can get yourself malachite. Now, same thing with jade, same thing with green aventurine, same thing with, I mean, just any of those. A heart chakra crystal, rose quartz, especially, that's why it's gifted to friends or to in love, or, I mean, when you have a friend, or when you really, like if your husband, wife, partner, girlfriend, boyfriend, you can give them rose quartz. If you have a friendship that you want to keep clean and pure, you can give that person rose quartz as well, just so that they're basically in a place of love. So the friendship is based off of unconditional and divine love. It's kind of like a gift to the person, because most of these people just flat out most people don't like or love themselves. So that's a really good way to help your friend. Now, when it comes to Moldavite, I don't know what it's spanning, but when I got Moldavite for myself, I got a giant piece. It cost a good bit. Moldavite should always be expensive. It should always be high end. Like some pieces of Moldavite should be around, like, even the museum grade Moldavites are around $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 for like a chunk. Like a museum grade, like the one with bubbles in them, like the angel chimes, like some of them can go for a lot. Depends on the quality. Moldavite always looks like plastic or glass, but when you get it for yourself, it doesn't have the same gift energy effect. Now I got myself a chunk of Moldavite. I'm like, I got myself a giant chunk of Moldavite, and it's a big piece. I'm like, okay, any day now. And I'm like, it didn't really hit me like that. I'm like, okay, whatever. This Moldavite, like, I was like, Moldavite sucks. I'm like, Moldavite, and it didn't come to me at the right time. I just got it because I saw all this pumped up information online about it. But then it was very random. I went to a festival, and I talked to a woman she had a table set up, and I was just talking to her. I always wear my crystals, and she's like, I like your crystals, etc. like that. And she decided to give me a piece of Moldavite, little tiny piece, like this little eeny weeny piece of Moldavite. And I'm like, oh, she has Moldavite, okay. And I didn't really think much of it. I'm like, I have Moldavite at home. This is not gonna do anything to me. She put it in my hand. That had to have been one of the most dramatic effects to a crystal I've ever had. I had the Moldavite flush. I couldn't move for 5 minutes. I'm in front of her table, because she set up a table. I'm in front of her table, I was looking pretty dumb, because I was like, and I was holding, I turned into a statue. She dropped the Moldavite into my hand. I'm like, and there's people coming at the table, and I'm blocking the table, and like there's all these people coming around, and she's like talking. I'm like, I'm not hearing her. I'm just like, everything, like time stopped, like everything was like, the ground was moving, the sky was spinning. It was just like it was like an earthquake going on, like just kind of like the camera angle. Like, I don't know why the camera angle does this, but I mean the camera's panning in and out, but that's how I was feeling maybe it's with the Moldavite discussion, but like that, like my whole, like everything was panning in and out, and I'm like, and I couldn't really breathe. I'm like, I was gasping for air after like 5 minutes. I'm like, and I don't really know. I don't think she really knew what she did. Maybe she did, but I didn't really pay attention because I was so in shock because of the result. Like, I have Moldavite at home, and it's 100% real. It comes from one of the museums from the actual Republic of where it comes from. Yeah, from the Republic of where it comes from. And it was shocking. It was very shocking. And I was just, like, when I got myself a giant chunk of Moldavite, didn't do anything. When it was gifted to me, just because I was talking to someone, and my angels knew exactly that was a point of time. Because I asked my angels ahead of time, like, should I go to this event? Should I go to this fair? It's raining, the weather's bad, and they're like, yeah, it's gonna be very lucky. And I'm like, okay. And I went and I talked to her. And when she gave me the Moldavite, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. And after she gave me the Moldavite is actually when I really dedicated my entire life path. I dedicated my entire, like, after that, I was just like, what Moldavite really did for me after it was gifted is helped me truly see, like, hey, this is my life path. Crystals, helping people with crystals. And, like, something just came, like, it hit me like a meteor, because meteorite is a crystal that has been gifted to the earth. large explosion, dramatic effects. It became a tektite. It's green, alien-like. It's gifted to the earth. It was gifted to me. Now, that Moldavite also helps you find your gifts as well, which my gift is channeling gemstone energy. And at that point, right after the Moldavite, like, my subconscious mind just kind of kicked in together and everything just kind of tied in together. And I'm like, oh, like, this is all or nothing. I just stopped everything else I was doing. I stopped personal training. I stopped just side projects, everything. I'm like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to die doing this. Like, I will do crystals. I'm going to meditate with crystals. I'm going to learn every crystal. I'm going to know everything about crystals you can't find online. And this is how I'm going to go. Like, this is all or nothing. At that point, I started stacking crystals. Because online said, oh, you can't wear more than 3 crystals at once. I started stacking crystals. I wore them on the anklets. People made fun of me. But that Moldavite, just from being in my life from a very short period of time, I don't even know where that small piece of Moldavite went, but I was just like, you know what? Now it's time. Now is the time. So Moldavite, when it got to me at the right time, when it was actually gifted and the energies were unlocked about it, my whole life changed. It really did what it was supposed to do. Now, why are some of your lives getting completely crazy when you get Moldavite? Well, most of you who really wanted Moldavite that badly, you crave the craziness. You really did. Some of you are gonna be watching this video and be like, he's calling me out. Yes, I'm calling you out. If you've got Moldavite for yourself, and especially if you know it's gifted, if it's supposed to be gifted to you and you already knew that it was supposed to be gifted to you before you got it, and you get it for yourself anyway, there's a certain ego that goes into it. Most of you are flat out getting fake Moldavite because your angels do know when you have information because they have access to certain things in your mind. So like, they'll be like, okay, he knew that he was supposed to have Moldavite gifted to him. He didn't tell anyone in his family, any one of his friends, like, hey, can one of you please get me Moldavite? And just flat out, what just popped into my head right now is someone to give to Moldavite to after this video. I'm not gonna really tell anyone who it is, but someone's getting Moldavite who's watching this video. But when you guys get Moldavite for yourselves, it's not the right timing. As humans, we think we know everything. We don't know more than God. We don't know more than our angels. They know stuff about us and how we're gonna die and how we're gonna go, but they can't really tell us. If you ask them, they'll just be like, I don't know. Like, oh, I don't know. They're not allowed to tell us certain things like that, but don't get Moldavite for yourself because you'll notice things start getting really crazy. Because what will happen is you guys get yourself fake Moldavite because your angels guided you to get the fake Moldavite because they knew you were trying to get it for yourself. And if you have good angels and they know that you're not supposed to be getting the Moldavite at the time, they're going to block you from getting it. They'll flat out block you from getting it. They're like, okay, cool, let's send her to Etsy and she's going to get some immaculate Moldavite bracelet for $45. And all these comments are 5-star commenters, 5 pages of 5-star comments for a $45 Moldavite bracelet. Do any of you see something wrong with that? I wish I could show you. I don't want to call anyone's side scam hustle out. I can't do that, but on Etsy is a very good place to get scammed to getting Moldavite because there's 10 pages of just 5-star reviews. The energy's immaculate. And you can see it's plastic. You know it's plastic. I'm going to give you an example. You're not getting, if you got a Moldavite bracelet, I still have a Moldavite bracelet around. I don't wear it though. I give it to my angels. But when you have a Moldavite bracelet, it's going to be a lot more than $100. It's not going to be $200. It's not going to be $300. It's not going to be $500. It won't be $600. It'll be more than $1,000, way more than $1,000, way more than $2,000, way more than $3,000, way more than $4,000, depending on the size and the quality and the cut of the Moldavite. And just, if you're getting a $45 piece of Moldavite as a bracelet, you've gotten plastic for yourself. You flat out got plastic, and you got resin, and your ego overrode your knowledge. You basically kicked you throw out logic and you throw out your intuition, so you're just going with whatever because we're just going with ego at that point. I don't, whoever I'm calling out, this is going to help you. This is not here to make fun of you, but get Moldavite I mean, to get Moldavite gifted to you at the right time, follow this method. Follow these steps. Tell 7 people. Let's pick the number 7 because 7's a very, very biblical and angelic number. Tell 7 people of who you would like gift. Like, just say to 7 people, please gift me at Moldavite at a random time. And however it's gonna happen that you're gonna get gifted Moldavite. When it's of the right time, you're going to get gifted Moldavite. It's definite. Yeah, it's coming, but it can't come when you expect it. I gifted myself Moldavite because I feel like treating myself. That's ego. That's ego. Ego. When you know you're not supposed to do something, I mean, maybe you just don't trust what I'm saying, and then you get it for yourself, and maybe it's just an imaginary game. Maybe you don't take crystals seriously. Maybe you don't take my advice seriously. That's fine. If you want to enhance your spirituality, this channel is very good for people who are advancing their spiritualities and who are serious about it. People will not start with any crystal. The first crystal they'll get is Moldavite. Why is that? Because it's the most powerful crystal. You don't even know a single other crystal, but you've heard it mess people up. You've watched a TikTok, and let me tell you right now, it's not the most powerful crystal at all. It's a distraction. Moldavite's a distraction. That's the secret about Moldavite. It's a distraction. It's a test. It is a test. There's crystals 100 times stronger than Moldavite, and I will not teach them. I will not bring them up. There's crystals that make Moldavite look like nothing. But you guys really, once you ask your angels, can you please show me something stronger than Moldavite? There's some things that pop out of the blue that are otherworldly, other-dimensionally. It's like there's crystals that Moldavite is not the strongest crystal. It's a distraction. Like I just said, online you'll be like, what's the strongest crystal? And it'll be like, Moldavite. I have to get it. Well, why do you have to get it? Well, I need my life changes. Well, what other crystals have you worked with? I don't know about crystals, but I want Moldavite. Learn about crystals if you want to take your spirituality seriously and you really want to enhance your spirituality. Your angels know what's going on. You get Moldavite, and especially if you're ungrounded and you get Moldavite, you're going to be slapped out of the park. That's if you get real Moldavite. Most of you are getting fake Moldavite, and you have such an energy expectation around what it's supposed to do that when you do get when you get the fake Moldavite, you'll get the flash. Because keep in mind, the mind is the most powerful tool. But you're going to start living in imagination then. You're going to be ungrounded because you were ungrounded before you got the Moldavite, and you didn't work with any other crystals, and you thought you knew everything you're supposed to know, and you thought you were better than the knowledge that I'm teaching, or that... I lived this. When I got my Moldavite, thank God, my angels averted its effects to doing nothing. Because your angels can make sure the Moldavite doesn't do too much for you. Especially if you did not know when you got it for yourself. At the right time, and you're just having the Moldavite, your angels can make it work for you. Then it'll turn off, because some people are like, why did my Moldavite start working and it stopped working? I'm like, it's supposed to be there for periods of time, temporary periods of time. This is the only video where it's just like panning in and out and in and out. Maybe it's because I'm talking about Moldavite, and this is just a very ungrounding crystal. This crystal will unground you if you're not grounded. If you don't know how to ground from Moldavite, you're going to have symptoms of ADHD. You're going to be completely ungrounded. You'll be feeling hazy. 1 minute will go by, like 10 minutes will go by in 1 minute. 2 weeks will go by in 1 day. Everything will feel horrible. Because you're so not connected to the earth. You wanted to unground yourself. You wanted drama. You asked for drama. You got drama. Everything's crazy when you get Moldavite, when you're not supposed to get Moldavite for yourself because you're ungrounded. And anything that happens when you're ungrounded is going to be crazy. If someone walks past you and you are ungrounded from Moldavite, because it can leave you rootless, which means you just don't know how to ground at all. You can't handle a simple situation. So when someone walks past you and coughs, you'll be like, and you'll go home and it'll ruin your day. And just the little tiniest thing, like when I'm talking about being rooted and being grounded, when a tree comes up, the tree that comes up overnight, like a palm tree, like if it just shoots out of the ground and has no roots, when a storm comes, or even any kind of wind comes, it'll just fall over. It's not a very sturdy tree, but an oak tree that takes a long time to grow and it really plants its roots in the ground, when wind hits it, it's going to be fine. It's not going to move. It's not going to budge. It's going to stay there for 200 extra years, and it's going to be great. But you decided to get yourself Moldavite. You wanted to be the palm tree versus the oak tree. And you messed yourself up when you actually got real Moldavite, because most of you are going to get fake Moldavite. Because I mean, if you're getting it for yourself, and you now know this information, but you decide to do something else, you're going to get fake Moldavite. If you get real Moldavite, it might not work for you as much or as well. If you already have Moldavite that you've gotten before you watch this video, that's okay, because you didn't know. There's a certain energy behind not knowing. Your angels can use it here and there to help you. But if you didn't know, you truly didn't know. Just like I didn't know when I first started out, when I got Moldavite. Just know it's not the strongest crystal ever. And once your angels see that you're mature enough, spiritually mature enough to wait for Moldavite, because if you try to get yourself Moldavite and you know it's not the right timing for you and you know it's supposed to be gifted, you'll never find the strongest crystals ever. They'll never come to you, because your angels saw you were impatient and you thought you had more knowledge than your angels, and you thought you had better timing than your angels, and your angels will keep those the real crystals, which I'm not gonna make one YouTube video about the strongest crystals. It's not gatekeeping. I don't need someone making a video, like a viral video about some crystal that you guys don't even know it exists. And you guys can guess all you want. You're not going to get the name of it or them right, because there's more than one. I tell those who are close to me that some of the strongest crystals, and yeah, it really makes Moldavite look like nothing. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. This video is truly here to help you. It's not to put anyone down. It's very stern. It's very strict advice. I live this. I've helped a lot of people. I continue to help a lot of people. I know exactly what I'm doing when it comes to Moldavite. In the end, Moldavite's just a test for what's next. Till then, I'll see you guys next time. Leave your questions in the comments below. Ciao!